Today we're going to do a red Thai chicken curry, and we're going to do it in our slow cooker. We've got the crock-pot saute model that we're going to use. And the ingredients here for our curry: we've got a whole chicken, we've got some olive oil, coconut cream and coconut milk. We've also got this red Thai curry paste, and for the vegetables some courgette, some tender stem broccoli and an onion. We're going to serve that with some jasmine rice and garnishing with caramelized cashews and some fresh coriander. We're going to be using our crock-pot on the hob to start. So first thing we have to do is put our olive oil in there. I'm going to put in 3 tablespoons. It's important to do this so your crock-pot doesn't crack when you put it on the naked flame there. Going to add in coconut cream, which is pretty much just coconut fat. So we're going to put that in with the oil and then cook it for about 2 or 3 minutes, just until it starts to break down back into its original oily state. Just giving the coconut cream there an occasional stir. You can see it's starting to break down, so you get a bit yellower there. About 3 or 4 minutes on a medium heat. So you can see now the bubbles in here are a lot thicker. That's pretty much as oily as that one's going to get. So that's ready for adding in the onions. Give them a little mix in. And just let them sit for a minute to bring the heat back up. And just give that a good mix in there. And just let that continue to cook out, probably about 4 or 5 minutes for the paste. You can see that's cooking away quite nicely there. Perfect. So we need to cook this for about 4 or 5 minutes. If you just added your coconut milk straight in, when you got to eating it, you pretty much all your taste would be chili and you'd lose all your flavours. By cooking the curry paste out, it's going to cook the chili out more, so when you eat it, first thing you taste is the flavours of the paste, and then the last thing you'll get is the heat and the bite of the chili. So very important to cook your curry paste out. So just watch as well that this isn't going too fast or too hard with your heat. We've got quite a small flame on here, and I've got that down now on low, and just the heat of the crock pot alone with just a small amount of flame is enough to get that curry paste cooking. I'm going to pop the chicken pieces in. And if you like as well, you can do this just with the chicken breast if you're not into eating meat off the bone, but I find meat on the bone is just much better. It cooks much nicer. Keeping the skin on as well is going to keep it nice and moist and tender. But meat that's on the bone always cooks better than meat off the bone. Let's give this a little stir around. And I'm just adding in the coconut milk. Just look at that. Just give that a little stir in. So then we're just going to pop the lid on, and back into the base of the crock pot. Got that on low there. We're at the stage now where we're ready to add our vegetables in. Curry's ticking away nicely. So we'll start with the courgette, top and tail. And just going to cut it in half, and then just on diagonals. And I'm going to add that into curry. Careful for a splash. Put a little mix in. See, there's a lovely red oil on top there. And then just going to cut this tender stem broccoli in half. Pop them in. Going to bring the crock pot back up to high just to get the heat back up to cook the vegetables. Give them about 15 minutes, I'd say, at the most. So we've got our rice on the stove. Just coming up to the boil. Just give that a little stir to make sure it's not catching on the bottom. Once that comes up to boil, just going to turn it onto a very, very low heat and then just let it sit and slowly cook for about as long as it takes with vegetables. Alright, we're ready to serve our curry. Start with the rice. Just going to give this a little stir up again. Oops. And I'm just going to finish that with some of the cashews, and then just finishing with some of that lovely fresh chopped coriander. And that's our curry ready to eat.